Hi, my name is Kat Bodden. I'm a naturopathic doctor and the owner of Sea Change Medicine in Portland, Oregon. Today I want to talk to you about a topic that's really near and dear to my heart, and that's mental health. We're going to go over some of my favorite nutrient and lifestyle tips to support optimal mental health. Because the statistics on mental health in the US are actually pretty staggering. About 1/3 of Americans will report experiencing some type of anxiety disorder at least once in their lifetime. 20 million adults have been diagnosed with major depression, and ADD and ADHD diagnoses are on the rise. Let's talk about some common nutrient deficiencies that are associated with mental health. And the first is vitamin D. Vitamin D deficiency is associated with fatigue, mood changes, and an increased susceptibility to infections and illness. Conventionally, vitamin D deficiency is only recognized below 30 nanograms per deciliter, but optimal vitamin D status is actually in the 70 to 90 range. It's really hard to get to that optimal level just from food. Yes, vitamin D is found in things like eggs, mushrooms, and fatty fish, but even if you eat those foods every day, it's really hard to get enough. This is why supplementation is so important. However, you can have too much of a good thing. Vitamin D toxicity can occur, and it's pretty difficult to reduce. So I always recommend testing your labs before starting supplementation. If you are supplementing, vitamin D is fat soluble, so if you take your vitamin D with a little bit of fat, it helps with its absorption. Magnesium deficiency is the most common mineral deficiency in the United States, and symptoms include irritability, anxiety, muscle tension, and constipation. There's lots of different types of magnesium out there, but today I want to talk about magnesium threonate. This form of magnesium is really important for brain health because it readily crosses the blood-brain barrier and can help increase intracellular levels of magnesium. I love Magamide from Endurance Products because not only does it contain magnesium threonate, but it also contains niacinamide, which is so important for anti-aging and DNA repair. Omega-3 fatty acids are vital for brain health throughout our life, from early fetal development all the way up to memory and cognition with older adults. Omega-3 fatty acids are commonly found in fish like herring, sardines, mackerel, salmon. Plant-based sources include walnuts and flax seeds. And you can supplement with something like the omega-3 phospholipid from Endurance Products with superb krill oil. It's really important to have a clean source of omega-3s because a lot of fish oils are actually contaminated with heavy metals, which can be harmful to our brain and cause a lot of mental health symptoms. Lastly, choline is really important for brain health, especially with a developing fetus. So you want to make sure you're getting enough choline in your diet or from supplements if you're trying to conceive, pregnant, or breastfeeding. Choline is found in foods like egg yolks and liver, or you can supplement with something like choline SR. Now, gut health is one of my 5 pillars of health and is so important for mental health. How many of you have heard of the gut-brain axis? This is a bidirectional communication. It's a two-way street between the brain and the gut. The brain sends messages down to the gut, and the gut also sends messages back up to the brain. This is also why GI symptoms like a change in appetite, diarrhea, constipation, bloating, or nausea can often accompany things like anxiety and depression. Our gut microbiome, the bacteria in our gut, are also really important for mental health because they actually make neurotransmitters. Things like GABA, dopamine, and serotonin are all made in our gut. So GABA is a calming neurotransmitter. It's inhibitory, it's anti-anxiety. Dopamine is involved with things like memory, reward, and motivation. And then serotonin. Serotonin is so important for mood and also for sleep. And about 90% of our serotonin is actually made in our gut. So a lot of people, when they're struggling with anxiety and depression, they go to their primary care provider, they're given a medication that modulates serotonin like SSRI'S. Okay, those can be helpful, but I want to go one step deeper and see why is our gut not making enough serotonin in the first place? This means that sometimes people can reduce their dose of their medications or even come off them entirely. Lastly, we can support a healthy gut microbiome with both pro and prebiotics. So probiotic foods are things like yogurt, kefir, miso, kombucha, sauerkraut, kimchi, pickles. They're delicious and they're so good for your gut. Prebiotics, on the other hand, rather than being the bacteria themselves like probiotics, Prebiotics are food for the bacteria. They're things like fiber found in things like whole grains and leafy greens. You can also supplement with something like the Prebiotic Plus from Endurance Products. If you take anything away from this short video, it's really the importance of a mindfulness practice. And there's so many ways to do this. A formal meditation practice where you're seated on a cushion, deep breathing, just closing your eyes, listening to the sounds around you, being fully immersed and present in whatever activity that you're doing a body scan. And there's so many amazing resources out there. There are apps for your phone, websites, online classes, in-person classes. If you have any questions or finding the resource great for you, please don't hesitate to reach out. Okay, 2 more tips for you. One is to take a break from your screen and to go outside. Studies show a direct correlation with increase in stress, anxiety, and depression with increased screen time. And conversely, with time in green spaces, we have a reduction in anxiety and depression, also a reduction in heart rate, blood pressure, and a reduction in the stress hormone cortisol. Lastly, I want to emphasize the importance of joy and community. I recommend finding things that you love that bring you joy and doing them every day. And doing it with other people as well. We're really social creatures. We're meant to be in community. Being in community has not only shown a reduction in stress markers, but also a reduced susceptibility to illness and a longer life. So reach out to friends and family to strengthen existing bonds. And if you want to make new friends, take a class, join a group, volunteer, find some way to connect to the people around you. Thanks for listening today. My name is Kat Bodden. I'm a naturopathic doctor here in Portland, Oregon, but I work virtually with folks all over the country. If you have any questions, or maybe you've tried all these things, but you're still not feeling as well as you know that you should, I'd love to speak with you. So you can go ahead and schedule a free call on the website. Thanks.